Good day, YouTube. It is the 2nd of October 2022. We are back working on this 1975 Vanguard Citicar. We are doing lighting upgrades, and we ran into some issues yesterday, so we ended the video there, and we are reconvening today. It is Sunday. Not sure how much time I'll have to work on this thing today, but I do understand what the problem was yesterday. The question is how to resolve it. Let me zoom you in. These upper lights, I thought yesterday what I had was a hot and a ground up here for a taillight circuit, and that I had a relay under the dash to change from when you put turn signal on or brake light on. It would shut the taillight off and allow it to flash as a turn signal or on as a brake light. Turns out it's not the case. When I went to put a new LED light in here, I thought hot and ground. I had to drill out the pop rivets to take the old light out, and we pop riveted the new light in. We drilled a hole to bring the wires through. When I went to hook the light up, it didn't work, and my statement was I have a bad ground. And well, yeah, that's correct, sort of. What was going on? Let me show you on the inside. So I dropped this panel out of the way so I could reveal what's going on up here, and you can see right here my pop rivet that I had drilled out was actually grounding the light through the rivet. That was fine. And the two wires that are going to the light are actually two separate hot wires. So I have there used to be a 2-lamp light there. One wire would have turned on one bulb, one wire would have turned on the other bulb. Evidently, one was supposed to be a tail light, was probably a smaller bulb, or at least it was at one point in its life. And one was a slightly larger bulb and would have been a brake light / turn signal. Very interesting, right? So the light that I am replacing the old 2-bulb light with, is an LED panel. This has 10 LEDs on it. So it has no provision for 2 levels of lights. And I did look around a little bit, and I didn't find anything, at least that would fit the space, that would look appropriate, that had 2 levels of light. So we have a dilemma here. We could possibly dig into this PC board a little bit, and I have plenty of these. We could experiment a little bit and turn this into a 2-level light. Or I've got an idea. I could use a couple of regular enclosed relays to accomplish this. So I think we'll mock that up. This little lighting upgrade has really turned into kind of a life of its own, but I want this thing to light up pretty good. I want it to show well. I want it to work well. And maybe there's someone else out there that's heading down the same road with a vehicle like this, or a vehicle like anything, and maybe some of these ideas are useful to you. So my thought was to put a pair of 30-amp relays in. I might have to draw it out on this window here for you. One of which we would take the normally closed contact and allow the tail light to come through at all times. When the brake light or turn signal is used, we would use that signal to operate the coil in that relay, which would go from a normally closed contact and will open it if you put the brake lights on, for example. And also would operate the coil on the second relay to allow that power to come through and light this light. If the taillights are not on, which would be fine, when you hit the brake light, both relays would change positions, and we would use that same power to close the second relay, and the brake light would come on. Question is what to do with the turn signal, because it's probably going to, if the taillights were on and you activate the turn signal, the flash would be so fast you probably wouldn't see it. So I'm still working it out. Let me think about this for a little bit. We're going to go to breakfast this morning, and I'll kick this around a little bit, see how to approach this. In the meantime, I might have a look at this PC board and see if I can sever the ties between the two halves and run these separately. And maybe we had the left side be taillights and the right side be turn signals and brake lights. Okay, that would be a representation of what used to exist in a two bulb scenario. Okay, the other option is to just use them as brake light turn signals, because I have these down here. This would be all that would be required. These are good taillights. I think there's a relay system in under the dash that will operate those as turn signals and brake lights. And these upper lights could just be turn signals and brake lights, so they could just be wired that way. So first glance, I'm going to look at this light here and see if we can separate it into two separate functioning lights. We'll roll with that. And if not, we'll go with plan B. Alright? I'll bring you back, but I got something to show you. Alright, we're going to try this. This component here, I'm not sure what that is, but let's leave that and let's just cut this in half. See what happens. So we'll cut through all the traces that are going this way and leave this on this side. So the cheap part of me goes, man, this is a perfectly good light I'm ruining. Yep, it sure is. Oh, that worked easier than I thought it would. And then we can bolt half of this one in place, and we'll cut the same half off another one. Oh, it just fell apart, didn't it? Let me nip it. Gotta have room to bolt two side by side. Might have to sand that a little bit. Alright. Big question is now, does it work? Alright, get my leads out of here. In case it explodes, we won't hold on to it. Sit there. Here we go. Alright. I think we're good. That doesn't show up all that good on screen, does it? Alright, we're going to two halves. Here's what I ended up with. Got two of them cut. I put a couple pieces of electrical tape over this so nothing shorts out. I ended up drilling another hole and using a longer screw because the mounting stud was here. And now it's here. I used a piece of 3/8 fuel line that I cut so that I could use it as a spacer, and then run that screw through the fuel line into the light and into the car, and then run the wires through that hole. Enlarge that hole just a little bit So let's see if it works, B, how well it works. Make sure we can live with our decision. Light's a little glary in here for you, isn't it? Let's do that. Focus. Sorry. There we go. Okay, let me hook some wires together here. So there's tail. Let's put the lens on it so we get the full effect. It's never going to look right on the camera. Get that looking right into the light. Alright. Let me step you back. I think that'll be fine. We'll hook the other light up real quick. If I can see what I'm doing. What didn't I do? Put the wrong ones up. That's what I did. I did that. And sorry, I grabbed the wrong wire. And this one. Not a very good. I'm using alligator clips, so I don't like where it's positioned, though. You know. I don't think I can live with that. It's got. I didn't think about where the lights were going to end up in the lens. No, I don't like it. I'm gonna have to change it. Can't live with that. I'll bring you back when I got it moved over. I'll have to drill a hole in the original mounting hole stud and turn that thing around. I don't like it. Alright guys, we've moved ahead. I got the driver's side front lights done. We got the headlight put in. We did the same thing with this turn signal up front, and we used the center cluster of LEDs, or the right side of it as you sit in the car, for the taillights, the left side for the turn signals, and we hooked up the white halo in the headlights for running lights and the amber halo for turn signals. So we got a couple of turn signal things happening. I might do something with that clearance light on the side. It's a little bit difficult to get at for the minute, and I just won't do it today. We'll do it down the road. So let's turn them on and show you what it looks like. If I can reach the switch. So there's our halo, and here, let me go to headlights so you can see that. Headlights and halo. Then I'll show you kind of what turn signal looks like. The relay is bad. I'm going to go around and trip that relay so you can simulate the flasher flashing. Like click, 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 click. Alright. So that's what we got. I will grab the other side and work on that as I have time. Maybe yet today. But that looks good, doesn't it? Look good going down the road. Got a set of eyeballs on it. We got to put it's already got a nose, so we just got to put a mouth on it. We'll have something going on. All right, so I'll check back with you in a little while. Boys and girls, there it is. Finished product. Even wiped the front of this thing down with some furniture polish. Fresh from the dollar store. You want to see it? Here we go. Let's go running lights. So I'll walk you through what I did. It's kind of the same thing we did in the rear. I took the front, these lights here, and cut the boards in half. So I took 4 ambers to make 2 work, and I took 4 reds to make 2 work in the back. And then the turn signals will be the outside switches, and then the halos go amber. They don't show up well in the camera. Let's go right turn signal. I'll have to flash it because I haven't put the LED flasher in. Got some stuff to do with the turn signals yet. But anyway, they do function. And the halo does go amber. That's that. Now let's go headlights. There's headlights, LEDs, they're pretty cool. Again, the camera's not going to do them justice, but it is what it is. Now let's go high beam. High beam. Oh yeah. High beams. Pretty cool. All right. So let me walk you through what I did, because I know I didn't film too much and just really wanted to get it done. So, just like the rear, there was 2 wires coming out here and a ground wire behind. So we took the 2 wires, identified which one was the running lights, okay? I've made it the center light, the one closest to the center, just like we did in the back. The one on the outside was the other wire, which was turn signal. In the rear, that'll be turn signal / brake light, okay? Made that the other half. Remember, I cut this board in half, and so it's the second half. Put them together just like we did in the rear. And then, before I put these, that's got smudge on it. Before I put all this wiring back, I tagged onto those 2 wires and brought them over to the halos in the headlight. The headlights themselves just plugged in. It had 2 additional wires. Okay, one of them is the white halo, which comes on with the running light. So I simply tagged it into that wire. Okay, I soldered and shrink tubed them so I could get them back in. I had to work them from this side, so I had to drill some holes, because working them, you know, from the dash inside there, well, I'm too old fat to get in there, and it ain't happening. So we did it through the front. We just drilled some holes, which the light covered up. And then the turn signal, we hooked up to the amber halo. Here again, soldered shrink tube, shoved them back in. Put the light back on with pop rivets, just like the rear, and voila, here we go. We now have all of the lights on the exterior of the Citicar in LEDs. All right, they're more efficient, way brighter, safer, etc., etc. Do they look cool? Yeah, it does. This little car is starting to kind of look kind of neat. So there we go. Guys, thanks a lot for watching, commenting, subscribing. I think next we've got to get into the brakes, because we're getting very, very close to driving this. And then we got some other wiring on the inside to sort out. And then sometime down the road we'll get into the charger, the battery charger system, which I'm still in the research mode. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do, but I got some ideas we're working on. Guys, thanks a lot. Give me a thumbs up on the way out, please. We'll catch you on the next video.